All praise. Hebrews 13:17, prophets on the scene. Wash your souls clean before we go into the gasoline. Took a while to understand Psalms 111:10. Brother calling me from Mississippi trying to build a man. I flushed 14 grams, it made angels rejoice. It made me and Satan divorce, no spousal support. I'm running the course with my hand to the plow. Now putting in the pebble the way Soldier James taught me how. Break it out. It strengthened my spirit when we in the building. Ain't no feeling like giving the precept for a precept given. Preach, MOV condition. Teach, self a second living. We, 2 Timothy 2:15, represent us with a common interest. Prophesy to the wind, reveal the man of sin, endure it to the end. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watch.
Shalom. It's going down. Watchman Radio. Officer Asa.
Officer Yokanan.
Officer Judah.
We in this building.
You here. We in this building. So we back with another episode, but we got to open up correctly. Let's get Isaiah 62 and verse 6.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 62 and verse 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night.
That's who you looking at right now. You looking at the watchman.
That's right.
Read.
Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence.
So we not going to keep silence. We going to make mention of the Most High God, sun up, sun down, and we going to show our people the truth. Because a watchman watches out for danger. Our leaders are not doing that. So the men of God have rose up. We going to do that. Ezekiel 3:17.
Real quick, before we get here, BT, do not have a heart attack. Because y'all heard what the man just did with the microphone, right? Y'all heard that? It sounded like a bag of chips was crumpling up, but we're going to get back to the regular show.
Oh, man.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel 3.
Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me.
What is the watchman supposed to do?
Hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me.
Once we learn this word, we are supposed to give our people warning. Warning. Wake them up. Warn them of the traps and the setups that is this place called America. So we finna get into the topic. Today's topic is black women, no accountability. We might need security after
Sheesh.
It's
going to be bloody,
first video. Yeah,
let's
it's finna
get
get
the
ugly.
first video. But y'all gonna get it. Y'all gonna get the point. We about nation building. That's what y'all need to know. And just because we're pointing out some things that's going on with our sisters, that don't necessarily take, you know what I'm saying, responsibility off us. We understand how to take accountability. We've done so. We repented, and we're constantly refining what that looks like. These videos we're going to show you is going to put a mirror up and show you, hey, something wrong with me. Yep. And it's nothing that we did. We didn't do anything to you. Your own conscience is going to condemn you.
Bring it out.
Let's watch the first video.
Let's get it.
In a recent podcast, I heard you say something which is very true, but people don't want to hear it. You said women who wear weaves are not at peace with themselves, right? I felt you should have added the men and people who are a part of this epidemic of cosmetic surgery. A lot of times people, the big thing is the BBL, right? But we approach it from a more humorous standpoint, ha, ha, ha. There's nothing funny about it. When I see
That's
people
a good
with
point. That's an excellent point. So what I want to pull from this video is what the host is actually setting up. He's setting up the fact that our people have issues, our people have conditions, but the only help that we're giving, when I say us, I say people who have a voice, people who have a platform. The only help that we're giving them, or the only help that they are shown, is shunning, or it's humor or it's ridicule.
Yep.
When in our actuality, they're going through something psychologically.
Facts.
So that's the route we want to take in opening this show up. We want to take the route of, you got a problem. We not here to laugh at you. Some of the stuff you do gonna be funny, don't get me wrong, but our whole mission and purpose is to show you a solution.
Right.
You got something you want to add to that?
Hey, and then on that point that he said, when he said we laugh about it, our people laugh about the things that we doing to destroy ourselves. It's a saying they say, laugh to keep from crying. That stuff don't be funny, man. That stuff is degrading. The stuff he's talking about in here, just listen to it. So we make humor, we make a joke out of things that are serious because we really don't want to deal with it. Go ahead, let's get this video.
Approach it from a more humorous standpoint, ha ha ha. There's nothing funny about it. When I see people with weaves, when I see people with the silicone and the BBLs, I see inner turmoil.
Of course.
I see a lot of struggle where you are so displeased with yourself that you put yourself through the surgery.
Of course.
There's nothing to be joked about. I think we joke about it too much and we criticize it too much from a more comedy standpoint, and we don't see the psychological impact or the psychological turmoil, spiritual turmoil person's experiencing to do these things to themselves.
I would say,
that's it.
as I've often,
That's it. We don't want to hear what the good Dr. Umar Johnson has to say. No offense to the good brother, but the premise has been set. We're going to tackle this, you know what I'm saying, with all dignity. For those of you who actually went under the knife, who may be listening to us, who got the psychological hang-ups, we're going to help you pinpoint what's going on. But I want to start with the scripture real quick. Give me Ephesians 5:4.
Bring it out.
Ephesians 5:4. Because the brother said we joke too much, you know what I'm saying? We ha 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 too much. But like the officer used to say, we do that to do what? Escape from the pain that we truly feeling.
Bring it out.
All right? Ephesians 5:4.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 4. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks.
That's it. That's it. That's how we supposed to deal with our brothers and sisters, right? Everything is not always a joke.
We good for that. We make everything a damn joke. Everything. We try to find some humor in something because it's too real to deal with.
Right. Give me Proverbs 1:26. But don't get me wrong now. When some things is funny, you know what we gonna do?
We gonna laugh.
I'ma laugh.
We gonna do just what our Father did, right? A lot of y'all be playing with the Lord, talking about you love him, and y'all don't even know he feel like this about you. Give me Proverbs 1:26.
Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 26. I also will laugh at your calamity.
I would do what?
I also will laugh at your calamity.
So the Lord be laughing. We be experiencing things we be experiencing, and we think this is the worst. Why God not listening to me? Because right now you are pure entertainment to the Lord. So it's going to be some things that you're going to see, and you're going to look at us like, why they laughing? Because it's funny. Not only do we think it's funny, the Lord think it's funny. Read.
I will mock when your fear cometh.
I would do what?
I will mock when your fear cometh.
The Lord even said he'll mock when your fear comes. Why?
When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. When distress and anguish cometh upon you.
I don't like my hair. My hair is not manageable. The Lord laughing at you. He said he's going to smite you in your hair because that's all you honor. He's going to smite you in your crown because that's all you honored. You honored your beauty that the Lord gave you over the Lord that the Lord gave you. You understand that? The man that was given to you, you rather distance yourself from him and try to get closer to who? Your oppressor. Because right now your oppressor got power. The Lord laughing at you like, you a joke. You ain't got no accountability. And we want to try to get you to really look at yourself and take accountability for your actions. All right? Was that it?
Yes, verse 27, that was it.
All right, cool. Let's go to the next video. Unless you wanted to add something. Go to the next video.
I got one
go
before
ahead.
we leave it.
Uh-huh.
Because he talking about sisters changing their figure.
Right.
Going to the doctor, literally changing it. Wisdom of Solomon 13, verse 3.
Bring it out.
Real quick. Why are you doing that? We finna dive into the psyche of that. Why? Why do you do that? Why do sisters change their hair? Change their eye color? Change their skin complexion? Allow the same man that destroyed your race to cut on you and operate on you. Let's see why. Read that.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 3. With whose beauty, if they being delighted, took them to be gods. Let them know how much better the Lord of them is. For the first of beauty hath created them.
So the Most High God is the author of beauty.
That's right.
The way he made.
You reading it wrong, bro. The white man is the author of beauty.
The Most High God.
You seen Vogue magazine?
Yeah. Vogue.
You seen Cosmopolitan? That's all the beautiful people on there.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Oh, damn.
That's what they say. That's the standard of beauty. But the Most High is the author of beauty.
That's right.
So when you sisters go get these surgeries, these operations, you saying what God made ain't good enough. You got sisters shave their eyebrows off and get tattooed.
Bro, the bishop was just talking about that last night, wasn't he?
Bruh.
He was talking about how if God, because it's a quote from quote-unquote African.
Yeah.
If God can't please you,
if God can't please the woman,
you damn sure better understand you can't please the woman because she gave him an ass, or he gave her an ass, and she cut it off and put another one on.
But also, I think that speaks to what y'all finna bring out right now, because the only reason why that's the case is because of mental issues.
There you go.
There's something that's going on inside of your mind to where not even God or a man that you're supposed to be serving can please you. Nothing's ever enough. That's an issue within you. So there's a problem there. You know what I mean?
That's actually the spirit of Esau. People take on the spirit of whoever is in control of them. Yep. Esau is in control of that woman, and so she hate herself. She hate herself. He hate the Lord. Goodness, you brought out that was an excellent point, bro. All praises. All praises. Let's play the next video.
Hey, this one heavy, y'all. Pay attention.
Listen up.
Time when the unemployment rate for blacks in New York for males was less than 4%.
If I could get me a job where I could be my own man, they make me think that they're feeling sorry for me. Give me this, give me what I need. This is like a pet, like a dog, you know, like give him.
Pause that. Y'all heard what he said? This is the feeling that our fathers, I'm going to say our fathers, because this was right before me, the generation before me. Our fathers, maybe they fathers. I'm going to say my grandfather. They felt like, I don't want no handouts.
Yep.
Food stamps, it was a shame to walk around with a food stamp. I'm old enough, I'm young enough, at the same time, to know what it felt like when it changed, though, because I lived in an era where it was shameful to hold that food stamps, and I also lived in an era where it was okay to hold that food stamp, right? So, but at this time, it was more so in a time where our people were independent of Esau, right? This was around the time in the 60s where, you know, it was Black Power, the Black Panthers, rise up, do for yourself. They didn't want Esau as their father, let alone to be what he called a pet to this man. He said, I don't want no man telling me when I can eat, what's good for me, when I can have this, when I can have that. And that's the mindset we supposed to have.
We fell from that. We ain't like that no more.
We definitely
The black
not.
man that lost the fight in him. The Hispanic man that lost the fight in him. You comfortable in this place. You willing to take handouts. Matter of fact, you don't even want to rock the boat.
Bring it
you
on.
don't want to cause no friction
Oh, man.
to mess up these what I want to say, these rewards, these gifts,
These benefits.
these benefits that the white man then gave.
What the one Edomite say, she say, we got a good bunch of niggers here.
Man.
We don't need you coming through here and disrupting them and disturbing them. They want that peace. But you're never going to have that peace here on this side. This is not your rest, black man. This is not your rest, Latino woman. This is not your rest, Native American. This is not your rest. Your rest is with the Lord. Give me Ecclesiastes 77. 7 and 7.
Bring it out.
Because this is him. He understands oppression. This man who he represented understood who his enemy was. He understood that the things that they give you is not for your benefit, but more so for them to control you. The Lord tried to warn us of it. And these watchmen, we're here. You haven't heard this warning before. So he's continuing through his love to warn you through us. All praise to the Lord. Read 7 and 7.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
A gift helps the nation.
A gift destroyeth the heart.
What was Section 8? What was, WIC?
A gift.
What was food stamps?
A gift.
But that gift had stipulations behind it, right?
Yep.
So if anybody give you something, they can also take it away. That's why we got to get out of the mindset of constantly doing this. Right. Constantly doing this. For you African, the countries in Africa, y'all got to stop holding y'all hand out too. Y'all are a huge welfare case. Y'all can't do what y'all want to do because you got to abide by the man that putting the things in your hand.
Yep.
When we going to stand up and protect what's ours? When we going to stand up and let the Lord fight for us like he said he want to do? Right. When we going to trust in the Lord? You was going to bring something out?
Yeah, I was going to say, so the thinking right there that this brother showed is proof that a gift destroyeth the heart.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Because remember, he didn't have the scriptures, but there was still some level of sense.
Yes.
There was still some level of wisdom. There was still some level of integrity, dignity,
good words. Yep.
Not self-awareness, but self-appreciation, right? Let me get Sirach chapter 40. Sirach chapter 40 and verse 29, because the scriptures say that. The scripture says that. But how does it that it came from us talking like that to now it's okay to have food stamps? It's okay to be on Section 8.
Hell.
You know what I'm saying? I know family members that's been on Section 8 forever, since I was a shorty, never getting off.
It was supposed to be like a help, like when you in a slump, right? Help you get back on your feet.
Right.
That way you
That's
can start.
It's people out
But
there
the
that's just taking
system-
advantage.
I'm also say this too now. To be fair, the system, the way it's designed, man, we got high unemployment rates. We very unemployable.
That's true.
But we easily able to fill up their prisons.
Right.
Like it's something going on to where we need this assistance. I ain't gonna take that away from you. I understand that the
Right.
system is rigged,
Right.
but still having to do that, we still destroy. Like we in
Right.
we in a bad place.
Right. And there's souls out there that has the ability and the fortitude
Bring it
and the
out.
mind to be productive,
Bring it out.
to
Bring
do
it out.
something better for
Bring it out.
yourself and for others, but you've been destroyed or you've been sedated,
Bring it out.
so to speak, by a gift.
Bring it out.
Right? So what I say? Sirach 40 and 29.
Yeah.
The book of Sirach.
Start at verse 28.
Chapter 40, verse 28. My son, lead not a beggar's life.
So God commands us to not lead a beggar's life. When you are, now I understand the scripture said that we shall be nurtured by the dragon, right?
Yep.
But when you willingly accept to lead a beggar's life, like you're setting out to get on Section 8.
Yeah.
You're setting out intentionally or prioritizing to be on food stamps and things of that nature.
You know how that looks? Not to cut you off. You know how that looks? When you're prioritizing to be on Section 8, you make the reckless decisions of being an adult by spreading your legs
Yep.
and doing it with anybody because you know you ain't going to be homeless. You ain't going to go without food. The government going to take care of you.
Exactly. So now what you do is you refuse to become an adult. You refuse to become responsible
They bleed.
as an adult, as
They
a man,
bleed.
as a woman, right?
Hey, because I want you to finish your point. Because the gas getting lit right now.
It's getting lit.
But what you bringing out, they are comfortable with being taken care of.
Right.
That's crazy. Go
And
ahead.
you know why that's the attitude behind our women. If you can't take care of me,
Right.
you got to be making six figures. You can't do nothing for me.
And you got mamas out there in the club with the daughters,
Grandmas too.
grandmas too.
Yeah.
You got grown men out here gang banging with the young brothers.
We was just talking about that.
So it's literally we're refusing because of these things. Our minds are being destroyed or dilapidated, and it's causing us not to become functioning adults.
Hey, BT, you got a picture of the 40-year-old Latin King Marine? If you can find the 40-year-old gang-banging Latin King Marine that we encountered when we was at camp, pull them up, because these people still exist.
Now watch this. Let's finish this scripture.
Still exist. They don't want to be adults, but they still want, they want to be adults having a body and the freedom to do what they want to do, but they want the accountability of a child.
Right.
They don't have to check in.
There you go.
So
Exactly.
let's continue to play this video.
Go ahead, read that.
My son, lead not a beggar's life.
So essentially, when we do that, we're leading a beggar's life.
Right.
Meaning you're doing that intentionally.
Right.
You're leading a beggar's life. Come on.
Better it is to die.
Better it is to what?
Better it is to die
He says, better it is to die than to what?
than to beg.
Than to beg. Than to beg. Now, I'm going to show y'all something, because I'm going to show you. This is very heavy. Because remember, the Lord said that one of the curses in Deuteronomy 28:48, that we shall serve our enemies and wants of all things.
Yes.
There's a reason why that is a curse. So in other words, we have to beg this man to survive, right? That's a shameful thing. So, and the Lord said it's better to die
Yes.
than to be in that position.
Bring it out.
So that's why it's such a heavy curse. So watch this. Read on.
Verse 29.
Uh-huh.
The life of him that dependeth on another man's table.
Don't we serve the white man for food? Don't we serve the white man for water? Right. Don't we serve the white man for housing? Right. Don't we serve the white man for clothing?
Bring it out.
Whatever the case is, right? Read it again.
The life of him that dependeth on another man's table.
Read.
Is not to be counted for a life.
That's what the brother said right here in the video. I'm not your pet.
Damn.
I'm not your dog, right? You trying to tell me when I can eat, when I can go to sleep, when I can do this. We don't want to be that dependable, because I'm no longer a man no more. We had that sense back then, but today we don't have that kind of sense.
There's a
we don't have
level
that
of
kind wisdom.
accountability allows you to see that. The accountability today allows us to stay blinded to the truth. Like we could take stock of what's real out here, but we won't really speak on it.
Right.
Why is that? Why we won't speak on what's truthful? The Lord said we love darkness. Right. We prefer darkness and we rather have it so. Go ahead, continue making your point.
And let's just be honest. It's easy. It's easy to accept these things, especially when they got stuff. That's why a lot of black people is angry about DEI.
Bring it out.
Because you were
Bring it out.
dependent upon
Bring
these
it out.
things.
That's
You were
right.
dependent versus being a functioning, productive adult and trying to create systems in place where you didn't have to depend on another man's table.
Y'all heard
Facts.
they trying to bring back segregation?
I did hear about that.
I heard they was trying to bring back segregation. And in doing that, you know what that's going to do?
It's going to force us to unite, and we're going to have to create things and systems for ourselves. So this is actually good for black people.
Hey, what a round of applause mean? Sound bite.
Right.
Round of applause. We need
Bring it
that.
out.
Thank
They
you, Lord.
finna get
Thank
pissed
you, Lord.
off. They finna get pissed off at what you saying.
Because remember, during the times of Black Wall Street, when we had our own communities, when there was segregation, we had our own hospitals.
Right.
We had airports.
Right.
We had schools. We had bus systems. We had hotels. We were in much better shape financially before assimilation.
Watch this. How many reports were there of black-on-black gang violence
I don't think
during
there was,
those times?
I don't think there was
How many
at all.
reports was there of police brutality?
Brutality, right?
0.
Why was that? Because everybody was getting it. When everybody getting it, guess what? We all good. We ain't got to worrying about the next man who not getting it can take it from me. We ain't got to worry about I'm lacking, so I got to take it from the man who got it.
Right.
How about we look out for everybody that's around us?
Right.
Ding, ding, ding.
Right.
Know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Why won't we do that? Because we've been spoiled. These are people
Spoiled.
robbed and spoiled, the
Spoiled.
Lord said.
Exactly.
We so rotten to the core, we can't even think outside of what's been placed in front of us. So go ahead, bring back segregation.
Right.
I don't care. We were better off then before now. Martin Luther King even said it himself. He said, I believe I've entered my people into a burning building. Like, this is not the American dream. He entered them into the American nightmare.
Right.
So go ahead, finish your point.
Let's read on.
The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life.
So the lives that a lot of our people are living is not a life to be accounted for. It's not a life to be proud of.
Right.
Read on.
For he polluted himself.
He do what?
He polluted himself.
A lot of us have been polluting ourselves.
Right.
Now, of course, even back then, there was still some level of oppression. You know, you had white on black crime.
Right.
More so prevalent. But there was much more nation solidarity between
Absolutely.
us.
Right.
We were taking care of each other.
Right.
There was more two-parent households together. The woman respected the men more. We were at a much better position depending on each other. Nobody cared about DEI. We weren't worried
understood.
about it because we were taking care of ourselves the entire time. We were
understood each
functioning
other.
adults.
We understood each other. We understood where we came from. We understood the oppression that we faced, and we knew who the common enemy was. Now we think people that look just like us is our enemy. Now they think I'm turning on this podcast or I'm turning on this radio show, and these people talking about accountability is my enemy. No, you're your own enemy until you figure out who the true enemy is. Go ahead.
Read on.
For he polluted himself with other men's meat.
Go on. That's what we did. That's been DEI. That's been Section 8. That's been SNAP benefits. Go ahead.
Quick.
But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof.
That's what that brother was. He was
Yes.
beware of it. He had foresight. He said,
Right.
this is not going to be good for us.
Right.
Read on. Let's finish this up.
Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless.
And that's what happened to us. So the white man has caused us to become shameless.
Took away our shame.
Read on.
Bring it out.
But in his belly there shall burn a fire.
But in his belly, in your mind, there shall burn a fire. So this is what's happened. Go ahead.
That fire goes into that anguish, right? The fire goes into feeling of discontentment. Like you want to be able to extinguish fires, but we can't extinguish this fire. This fire that we in right now, that is hell. We in hell. We can't extinguish the hell that we in, right? All we have to do is trust in the Lord. You understand me? Examine yourself. See where you fall off at, and do what? Change it. Change it. Go ahead. Play the video.
There's some more heavy points in this video, y'all.
Most definitely. So
Just
now-
give me what I need. This is like a pet, like a dog, you know, like give him, you have to be fed now, give him some food.
What you then saw as a consequence of separating work from income, the out of wedlock births in the black community began to skyrocket. Went from under 25% to 70%.
Damn.
It is a neutron bomb that was dropped.
Hold that.
I got to get a precept on that.
Bring that up.
Proverbs 29 and verse 4.
Yeah.
If you see the caption above, it says, the welfare system, along with mass incarceration, destroyed the black community and families. It said that children out of wedlock increased. Because if you remember, with WIC, the woman can't have who in the house? The man. Proverbs 29 and 4, read that.
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
The king by judgment establisheth the land.
So a king establishes judgment in a land. Read.
But he that receiveth gifts overthroweth it.
He that receiveth gifts is not going to judge
Drop the
things
bomb.
properly.
That's
He
a
that
bomb.
receiveth gifts is not going to see the danger. They not going to see the setups around them. So when them gifts was given to us, slowly our families was being destroyed. We ain't even know that. Meanwhile, the white families, they still together. They still got their marriages, they children growing up with both parents, going to school, proper upbringing. But ours was deteriorating. Go ahead, let it play. Just want y'all to see this stuff.
Hey,
You missed a point. It's another point in
all
there.
praises, all praises.
It's a whole nother point in there. You know what they said about when they opened up the ability for public assistance to be had? It removed the man out the house, but not only did it do that, it made unwedded births increase from 25% all the way up to 70% within about 4 years. Did they say about 4 years?
4 years.
What the hell? What was going on?
4 years, that's
25% unwedded births.
And obviously they had that data. They knew of that and they maintained those things.
They said this is a hot thing here.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep this going on forever and ever.
So they capitalized on it. There was something to gain here.
I don't know the Edomite's name. I think Captain Yon brought him out. He had a whole study of black families, how they falling apart, how they being destroyed, they being affected by poverty. Basically, they had a study on this stuff. How do you know this stuff? Because you studying it. You know what's going to hurt us and you know what's going to harm us. You saw the black family falling apart behind this, but you kept the program going.
That's like all the heathen knew our history. They understood if these people sin, the Lord won't fight for them.
Right.
And to this day, you know what I'm saying, the Bible still reigns true. These people know how to keep us in sin by doing little tests here. You know, having little subjects do this here, and then they report back the findings and say, oh, yeah, that worked, that didn't work, stop that. Do that to keep them in sin. Y'all don't understand that your sin is your destruction. You stand outside of the parameters of what the Lord told you how to move, that keeps us destroyed. That keeps us thinking that the white man is better than us. That keeps us with a level where all we can ever hope to become is an entertainer. We can't become nobody serious like a president or a king. God forbid you try to become a lawyer or a doctor.
Hell no.
Man, go dribble a ball. Go jump through some hoops.
Make us laugh.
Get an OnlyFans page.
But what's terrible about that is that that's all that our people can see themselves in as well. Because we grow up in a black community, right? Yeah. I'm not finna sit here and act like I walk around and I see a whole bunch of people want to be lawyers and want to be doctors and that neither.
I ain't never seen
We
that.
have our minds is I want to be a football player.
Yep.
I want to be a basketball player.
That's all
I want to be a rapper, and that's where we see ourselves in our most success. We don't look at ourselves as lawyers or doctors or any of that. We don't think that these things are for us. We think these are white people only jobs, white people only careers.
Right.
So I wanted to read that what you just read, officer, again, because what we just read is the overthrowing of a city.
Yep.
Read that again.
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 4. The king, by judgment, establisheth the land.
So what was the judgment? DEI, assimilation, food stamps, Section 8. Those are the judgments, read on, that established a city, read on.
But he that receiveth gifts overthroweth it.
So, and those were also gifts, and it overthrew our communities. So then what was the result of that? Ecclesiastes 10 and 18, really quick, then we can move on. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and 18, because when it said it overthrew it.
We ain't gonna do it in this video. Nope. We gotta touch on what our sisters doing. Bring that out though.
Ecclesiastes 10 and 18, really quick.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 18.
So this is the result. Read.
By much slothfulness, the building decayeth.
So when you go through our communities, what's in the hood? Bandos, decayed buildings, trash filled through everywhere.